Hi anyone new or returning to the channel. I'm Nightmare on Kelp Street. I cover music primarily, but sometimes movies. The Halsey movie is the only one I think I've covered so far. Go back and watch that one a few videos ago. And soon shows and video games on this channel. And I believe that, as far as I know, 1 in every 5 queer or trans person I've met, you ask, will have a strong opinion one way or the other about Charli XCX. I'm a Charli XCX fan and have been since about 2017 or so. But I will be honest when I say I first heard music early hits like Boom Clap and things like that while playing online shooters growing up, especially as a closeted queer person, somebody who's growing from Alabama, deep-rooted in the closet. I hated Charli XCX whenever I heard her exposed to her. Granted, I hated almost anything too popular around 15 to 20, so I can't speak much. But it wasn't really until I hit college that I accepted that things are popular for a reason sometimes. And sometimes they're generally good, and even things people consider basic or run-of-the-mill can be impactful and kind of lush with production, depending on the receiver of that art. So, you know, I grew and learned to appreciate all genres, except for most of country still. A lot of it's riddled with a lot of right-wingers for the classics, and modern pop country can be kind of hit or miss. See Zach Brown Band, for example, I kind of like. I digress. In my research for this video, I learned, through some Charli XCX wiki history, just a quick look. I'm not going to be the deepest journalist on here, who cares? Charli began posting on MySpace in 2008, which led to her discovery by a promoter who invited her to perform at warehouse raves. She has a quote in The Guardian around 2013 or so in this time that says, "When I got signed, I hated pop music. I wanted to make bad rap music. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I liked. Even though I was signed, I was still kind of figuring it out." In 2010, she signed a recording contract with Asylum Records, releasing a series of singles and mixtapes throughout up 2011 up to like late 2012 or so. As I primarily use Spotify in my day-to-day use, and SoundCloud is like form of music creation, very rarely, kind of getting more to that in the future. Along with, of course, YouTube now, this being the first year I create content, so I like just consuming it on YouTube. I checked for her earliest content existing on the web as of like 6/11/2024 when I was studying for the script here. And when I researched this, on Spotify, the You're the One EP is the earliest project available, released on 2012. On YouTube, the earliest video on her official channel is a remix, Stay Away Salem, single 2011 or so. But the oldest unofficial YouTube upload that she has is a re-upload of a mixtape called Heartbreaks and Earthquakes in 2012, which led me to an incredible listen. Like, if you're a newer fan or haven't done a lot of deep dives for Charli XCX like me before this, her most recent material will get more experimental enough for you. This is a hell of a listen, and I implore you to try it out. This then led me to a rabbit hole of learning that at 14 years old, she released her first project, aptly named 14, her age at the time, under Orgy Music Records. I felt a little crazy doing the research for her in this one, that her parents just let her sign to something called Orgy Music. But, you know, but honestly, I heard Francesca, one of the main singles leading into this album release, and the beat kind of goes hard. Lyrics obviously in early development because she's still a child, and Lucy, the second track, is where I tapped because it was a little more awkwardly structured. You can kind of see where the song building was going to there. It just wasn't all the way there yet. But damn, why would I think when I was 10 she was out here already making projects already? Kind of humbling and impressive. I do think I agree that I don't care, I love it, and I'm so fancy are her huge early 2 breakouts that most people know her for. Their solo big singles being Boom Clap and Vroom Vroom, the latter doing substantial good for the queer community. I love this song. With much love and respect to Sophie for her beats. Rest in peace, and I'm looking forward to the final Sophie album coming out September 2024 this year. I feel back and forth on posthumous albums most of the time. If the family doesn't make a statement, I always kind of feel a little weird about it, but they did make a statement here saying this would be the final record. No others would be released after this. I'm listening to so much Charli in this video, and it's honestly kind of hit or miss. But I do truly love Charli, so if anybody knows her herself sees this video eventually, I say this is the true factor of love for the feeling I currently have about the last 2 albums. When I say I kind of need to grow on me, it kind of need to grow on me, is the feeling I came out of the first listen to Crash and Brat on my first listens. Like, hearing the material between 2008 and 2020, it was so weird and experimental and captivating and incredible, honestly, sometimes. My argument I come to present you today, dear watcher, is that since around how I'm feeling now in 2020 or so, we haven't gotten that level of weird blowback beats. Granted, I think in this time with Pink Diamond, I finally understand Anthems and Visions, she topped herself in many ways by creating a song that's both accessible and experimental in a beautiful blend. I would say the only songs I've gotten close in these last 4 years for me are Welcome to My Island with Caroline Polachek, the remix, Club Classics, and its abrupt changes in rhythm sometimes, Lightning on the second half or so. Actually, there'll only be 3, so I'll correct myself there. My 3. But let's go by the inspiration of creator me and my fiance love greatly, and Jenny Nicholson, and we'll go by a numbered list in this section. Number 1, her first pop era. In the public consciousness, her most well-known material for her pop era would be from a mixtape in 2012 up until album 2017. Specifically around December 2017, before Pop 2 showed us how it could really be innovative in a way only scarcely seen before in that early mixtape, outside of a few features and deep cuts that got into a bit weird, but not crossing into the hyperpop yet line with a full project, and most of that extent being the Vroom Vroom EP, which Sophie again was on and did all the beats of. This early period showed a slow but steady build in the fandom, with many of the singles and features in the early days putting her on fandoms who were adjacent to her style, such as the song she helped write for Iconopop, that one being the Crash My Car Into a Bridge, I Don't Care, Iggy Azalea, Danny Brown, Rena and the Diamonds she wrote for at one point, and Santa Gold. Her style began to intersect with pop, rap, and electronic, and the party, dance, rave community, which eventually led to the critical focus of mine and this video. How did Charli XCX get the ear of the gays? From holding a bottle of poppers and posing at some of her live meetups while saying gay rights, and multiple times posing or wearing pride flags in photo shoots over the years, specifically the example I found was on her Twitter in 2019 London Pride, she obviously very much respects the queer audience and flourishes within it. But suspiciously in deep dives like this, it is difficult to find defined statements on her own sexuality, gender identity, or anything like that. And honestly, I'm on the side that I'm going to let it be because there's only so much public figure needs to give us as an artist. And if this is something she hasn't yet opened up definitely about until now, I doubt she ever will. If someone knows any information I don't, you can leave a comment about it. But until then, I will just understand Charli XCX as being a straight cisgender artist who is very vocal, supportive queer ally, and that's all we need in this allyship. I'm not here to trans anyone's gender. I barely have never ginger juice for myself. I need to restock that shit. I actually wrote that. Regardless, as of June 2024, her top 5 most streamed songs include number 1 being I Love It, number 2 Fancy, and number 4 Boom Clap, showing this era is still her most popular in the general public, i.e. the most non-queer people or eternally online people. This is what I know her for. Where she really gets her pinnacle to me is in her hyperpop era. Now this, number 2, her hyperpop era, I might end around that. Now this is the Charli I can get high to and lose myself in. The Charli I can blare in my car and sing almost every word of. And I can bring to almost any gay party and turn up as a DJ and people will love it. Or show friends the fascination of the textures that the beats provide. And how she's pitched over them and completely paints her in a new light. And I'm not alone. Most online talks I have with people about Charli XCX, takes I see, or parties I go to, if they're playing it, it's from Pop 2 onwards. Most times I do play older Charli or her new stuff around friends and they go, oh, that's her? Granted, I have only played Brat around one person, my fiance, and so far she wasn't that impressed. And here's where I might get in more controversial territory. I think Sophie and Charli XCX and A.G. Cook and Charli XCX are a match made in heaven from Pop 2, Charli, and How I'm Feeling Now. One of the 3 of this era I do currently have. We'll do a quick show off of the art and stuff because I am a big album art person. And then the flip on the inside. Find my place back in the script. No setters, so edit around this. In Pop 2, Charli XCX, Charli, the self-titled Charli, and How I'm Feeling Now, we get full projects of some of the most noisiest but still accessible hyperpop beats I've heard in years. Granted, not all of it is hyperpop, but much of it in this area I would throw into the genre. Songs like I Got It, Fembot, Unlock It especially really hit a new peak of commercial weirdness for her. On the album Charli, I believe it has an amazing emotional fusion of both her hyperpop and her pop sounds, and the vibe and energy the album delivers in almost its entirety, and still might be closest to my favorite project next to How I'm Feeling Now. This album really came swinging at us with Pink Diamonds as the opener, and my God, is it chaotic and energetic and leaves us just as panicked as it came in with Visions, with this alarm-ass sound and beat just kind of fading out. And if you loop the album, it leaves in an insane loop, kind of wanting for more because it just kind of goes by so fast in like 30 minutes or so. The only other things I've heard, at least lift level hyperpop from her, and all the energy she brings, is on Ringtones with 100 Gex, the remix, Welcome to My Island, which I mentioned before, and Listened to Religiously last year, and Vroom Vroom, and that's about it. Nothing on Brat has really hit that level to me, even on like multiple 5th, 5th, 6th listen or so. I want to use that little wrap up to segue into something I was told at one point, quote, that cisgender people don't really know how to and honestly shouldn't try to make hyperpop. They don't do it as good. And in my response, my immediate thoughts are, well, no. I've heard great music from both cisgender and transgender people and mid music. And I don't really condone gatekeeping a genre creation. Whatever inspires you to do that, you can do what you love. A.G. Cook has made a digital tapestry for her to make her playground with the beats he gives her sometimes, and they are gorgeous, weird, abstract, bouncy, and just goddamn fun. I get why these eras of Charli are the most beloved in the queer community. This is the shit that gets us jumping, baby, and I love to see the unity of seeing it for myself, how this shit gets going at a party and smiling and talking. But this now leads us to her modern era, her new pop era, number 3, and Brat review and unboxing. There is only 2 albums on this era as of right now I would consider. Crash and Brat, along with a few scattered features and singles. We're seeing this timeline from about 2022 to July 2024 as of I write this. But I will say, so far, this outside of maybe Lightning on Crash, which I also have here, and we'll take our quick hiatus to look at the art. I do love the visuals for this era more than probably her last 2 or 3 album rollouts, honestly. Brat had a pretty, I like the online promotional for it with the fans being able to digitally format on Brat Generator and the big green wall pop-up live show. But other than that, I kind of missed all these different themes and designs for the album artwork. They're kind of missing that in this era. Okay. But I will say, so far, this outside of maybe Lightning on Crash, we don't really see the weird digital beats I know and loved anymore, and I really feel the innovative genres in ways that they were before. As I currently finished the newest A.G. Cook album, Britpop, it's a little long, and the Charli features on the title song, repeating the name over the beat, make me feel like, honestly, that he's kind of falling off a little bit in some ideas. But some of the beats on the album kind of showed me that he might be holding back on some of the weirder beats from giving her. Because currently what's on Brad is far less weird than what shows up in his solo album. Songs like Club Classic and Von Dutch and Yuck will still get me bopping nowadays, but honestly, after first listening to some of these songs, they kind of fall in the background. The only 2 Charli albums I own, I've kind of showed off to the video now, is Charli and Crash, so trust me, I've combed through these albums, and some songs are just better for background listens. I really just hope that in the next coming 2 to 5 years, A.G. Cook comes back with doing something Charli, just some weird beats. Those ones maybe on the verge of too noisy or obscure for the general public or a casual listen, honestly. The ending of I Got It comes to mind with how digital, scratchy, and off-putting it is as a write-out to the song. I feel like that weirdness really gave unique personality to these songs and the projects. I felt like that, and where I'm feeling now kind of left a hole in that. Yeah, Crash and Brat are good albums. When someone's kind of showing me a great weird album, I can't help but think about it and kind of long for it. They're both generally around 7, 9 out of 10 to me, depending on the day. And I wish I saw what others are seeing in Brat to that extent, because I see so many reactions online loving this project, but I couldn't shake the feeling of longing for the things this new era is currently lacking, at least. And now going into the conclusion and the kind of surprise unboxing, I went ahead and ordered Brat through a local record store. It got put on hold for a while, which is why this video takes long to come out, but I figured it'd be a good reward to kind of finish off the video. The new remix with Lorde as of June 21st, let's do this edit, while writing the script, confirmed my suspicions about Girl So Confusing being written about a specific person and musician in mind, and Lorde being so vulnerable on it, was so filling to my heart of her insecurities, giving the song and bits of the album new life to me. Even as of now, the album's grown to solid 8, 9 out of 10. I don't know. I definitely would keep listening. I do truly love her shit, even at the lowest. It's pretty slay. I love it. Check out the fun Brat Generator that her and her team created. Here's some examples of some of my favorites edited above me here. And now for a reward. We'll finally finish this video over a month to plan and execute. Here's going to be our first unboxing. It came in this like swag bag looking thing. I think the only thing that already fell out and I got surprised on is the sticker, and we have a little poster. It's got album listening event June 4th here. Got this little baggie. I mean, I don't know why I put a lot of this in. I would do a little swag bag to just kind of send somebody home with. We'll send them home with treats or something. Got the record itself, which it's got a little green in the middle on the back. I don't think, is there art on the inside? There's credits on this little script looking thing. This is the full art across both pages. I actually do like those more art designs instead of just the green. That's really cute. And then on the disc herself is her face, like kind of peeking on the. And is there anything else in here? I don't think so. Yeah. Okay, now time to see what the disc looks like. Yeah, it's got like the album title spread out amongst it. And then the front A side's her face, and the B side's just that little green. Yeah. And then I think all that's left in here is the booklet, but just in case there's any extra art in there, I'll dig it out. I don't think yeah, there's no like, sometimes these things, I know some newer albums will come with a digital code to just like download it on your phone or something. So a lot of these kind of stopped doing it because people started realizing like people don't really like download onto their phones anymore. They use Spotify or streaming. And there's one more piece of art that was kind of hidden up in here. The big pink boots. Yeah, I think that's everything for today. I'll be back soon with, I have 3 more videos lined up in mind. Number 2, longer videos on the channel is going to be probably the Remy Wolf Big Ideas review. I have that written out too. This might not have as many subtitles in the end part here, but I'm trying to script all these videos as much as I can, at least, to inform my thoughts. And then I use a lot of subtitles on YouTube, so I figure other people do as well. So if you watch this in the future, you'll probably see more subtitles in the videos. So this is the first of 4 releasing videos on the channel soon. This one, Remy Wolf Big Ideas, live review and breakdown of Soft Cult I saw live last month in June, or early July, sometime between June and July. And talking about fishing and video games and why I love it so much and why it means so much to me. So that will be coming soon. For now, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about the album. Tell me if you love or hate Charli XCX. Tell me if you've never heard of her. Who is this girl? Tell me what your favorite album is right now, new or old. Tell me what's the worst song you've heard this year. Bye.